Hey everyone, welcome back to the vlog. We have a beautiful afternoon just here. Look at that sunset starting to roll in. And in this video, we are going to be checking out the new container. We've just got done chopping up a brand new batch of breeding containers. As you can see here, there's thousands, well not thousands, but there's hundreds of them just here. Because we've been absolutely chewing through them since having that container pretty well fully breeding, and now we're starting to fill this one. So yeah, just a quick little update of the new container and a couple of things that we got right and what we got wrong. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so the container has been up and running for about 2 weeks now, and just a nice little light switch there, head on in. So as you can see, very humid in here. The lens is fogging up. I just got to quickly clean that off. Alright, now that I've got the lens a little bit less foggy. Now, the reason why it is fogging up so much in here is because we are running the container at around about 75% humidity, which is a lot higher than our other container, because our other container just has adults in it, and this container is pretty well gonna have only pinheads in it the whole time. So just give the lens a quick little clean again, because it has fogged up again. But, so in here we are running the container at 30 degrees, you can just see right there, and it is warm in here. I've got my jumper on and I'm nearly about to take it off. But yeah, as you can see from the first initial look, we had a little bit of trouble sealing the floor, so we just got a little bit of water and it's a little bit rusty, so you can see that. We might have to go through and seal our floor up again. So if you are setting up one of these containers, make sure you do seal your floor as best you can. It's not a huge issue, but having too much humidity and too much water in here will cause mold, and it is something that you just want to keep on top of. So for us, it's just about making sure we go through, try and seal up that floor as best we can. And yeah, like it should be fine from there on out. But as for the actual heater itself, look, we're firing up a little bit more again, crazy. We have our heater just here, and we put it, our last one was up quite high. This one we've gone a little bit lower, closer to the ground. But then we also just have a bucket of water here too, so the heat bounces into that bucket of water and then creates this nice humid environment that keeps fogging up our camera. And then as in terms of actual breeding our crickets, but firstly you can see that we're still having heaps of these little fly troubles. We actually just use this sticky tape that catches all the little, they're like vinegar flies. You can see them on camera just here, really tiny. They do get airborne. I have seen the crickets eat them, so don't stress too much if you do have them in your container as well. But yeah, so still using the same system with that. The fan's ticking along. We've got a nice little timer up here. The fan only comes on during the day when our solar is running, because we just want to make sure that we're using our energy as efficient as we can, and we are quite lucky. Our last power bill to run these two containers that we have going at the moment was only $27, I think. So that's really good. Just clean the lens again. So yeah, the power is going in the right direction, so thanks to all that solar. And then overnight, we don't really have much of a power cost anyway, because the insulation is so good with these containers. We've done a really good job sealing that up, and we don't lose too much heat throughout the floor, which is nice. Now, as for the crickets themselves, I mentioned before that they've been in here for about 2 weeks, and I'm sure if we jumped up here, we'll be able to have a look. Yeah, there's some pinheads all running around. Still going with our oranges and our grain mix, and I'm about to remove some of these. But as you can see, there's still some pinheads up there in the back, so I'm gonna have to come back another day probably to be able to remove them all. You just want to make sure the soil's completely dry before you take any of the crickets out. And then, oh, look at that. That's perfect timing. So the fan has just switched off, which is good with our timer, which means it's pretty dark outside at the moment and the solar won't be working. So we're just trying to keep on top of our power cost. But if we keep moving along here on this nice little sliding, here, you guys probably haven't seen one of these either. We've just got this sliding bench that allows us, because if you have a look how tall these things are, I stand at about 198 centimeters, almost 200 centimeters, but these things are massive. So we have this nice little stand just here that's on wheels, and we can store a bunch of stuff like our sticks to separate all the breeding soils and all the food, and then we can wheel ourselves along, which is quite nice. But yeah, if we jump along here, you know, we're using 1, 2, 5, 6, 9, 10, and we're going to go all the way along the top, just on the very top. And the reason why we're doing that is because it's hotter and more humid up the top for the crickets themselves. So the crickets are going to grow quicker. They're also going to get through that really early stage of development where they're having to grow into their skin and also their exoskeleton, and the humidity and heat just protects them from actually drying out. So it's really important that you get that right with your pinheads. I've got a video on the channel as well that explains that a little bit further, so go and check that out. It's called Breeding Crickets. So jumping up here, you can see more pinheads. Oh, look at that, that's incredible. Look at them all in there. I really love the oranges, fresh oranges today. And then I believe that probably 10 is our last one. Yeah, there's a few on the food just down here. But, so we've got 1, 2, 5, 6, 9 and 10 hatching. These guys will be the next ones to hatch. Nothing happening up here just yet. But yeah, it's all coming along really, really nicely. Obviously we've got the light strip up there too, which just creates a nice even light. And that only comes on to when we are working here. Apart from that, it's pitch black. So I do see people asking questions, do crickets need any light? It's like, no, they don't. They can function perfectly fine in the pitch black. So, and they've got all the food and all the water in the world to keep them happy here and all their mates, so it's pretty much a perfect condition. And that is a quick little summary of our farm. And just one more thing quickly before I end this video, we are growing all our pinheads up the top here like I mentioned before, but they will not stay there. They will eventually, we'll move all these containers down to the bottom. It's still super warm down here, but it does differ by about 1 degree, and that does make a huge impact when it comes to growth rate. So we will eventually just move these top containers here down to the bottom, and then we'll fill the top ones up with pinheads and we'll recycle. And then by the time this is full, then we will start using this as our major breeding container. And if we head outside, where the beautiful sunset is still going on, oh, let's just go have a little quick look at that. Oh, so peaceful. But yeah, if we head back into this other container, you'll see these guys want to work in here. All the crickets at the back, breeding like crazy. So yeah, this container is now just being used purely for breeding. And we've got a few young ones just here that haven't started, but over time we'll just cycle them all through. And yeah, that is where we're at with the 2 containers, so it's going really, really well. Alright, so that is everything for this video. Just a quick little update about how we are tracking with the new container, and as you can see, it's going really, really well, which we're super happy with, because that means that we didn't just fluke our first container and getting everything right. Crickets are super fussy, heat, humidity, food, all that stuff. If anything is wrong with any of those topics I just mentioned, the food, the water, the heat, the humidity, you won't be able to grow crickets, so it has to all be perfect for them. And yeah, I guess just one more thing, we've just put down some turf as well, just to keep everything a little bit neater. And we will eventually want to turn this whole area into a bit more of a processing bay. And you know, eventually we will get more containers like bang, bang, bang all along here where the car is, until we fill it up as full, or maybe we might build a little bit of a facility here too with a kitchen. But yeah, it will be perfect. So that's the whole outside of the container, and that is where we're at currently with farming the bugs. So cool. Thanks for all the support on the channel. It's really appreciated. We wouldn't be able to do what we're doing at the moment without having you guys support us, and also giving us feedback, and all for the people out there who are a lot further down the process with farming crickets than us. We're still learning every single day. It's frustrating, but at the same time, it's really exciting because we are learning a lot about growing insects and how sustainable these things really are for the environment. So it's really, really exciting. And I guess that is everything, guys. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. And if you have any questions, make sure that you leave them below in the comments. Reach out to me on the email, schubugs@gmail.com, social media, all that stuff. I'm always going to reply. So yeah, thanks once again, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.